He says, I'm sorry to have to tell you this. You have cancer and it's metastasized. And I said, okay, so what are we going to do about it?
You had just received news that you had received a no evidence of disease from your doctor saying you beat cancer. That was stage 4. And you checked yourself into a hospital and they're basically saying, look, we ran all these tests and there's nothing wrong with you. So eventually your doctor comes in the room and your doctor's like, hey, we did run all these tests. And you're like, listen, I know you ran the test, but I'm feeling fatigued, I'm tired. And you said you were nauseous?
I wasn't nauseous, I felt weak.
Weak.
I wasn't even in pain. That was the crazy part. But like I said, I felt fear.
That's the part really for me that's just like, okay.
I'm not a fearful person. I hardly ever feel fear.
So not being a fearful person, like you've been told that you have stage 4 cancer. You weren't fearful in that moment.
No, actually what happened, the doctor that told me that, a few days before he had taken some tests, called me back in. And when I came into his office, he walks me way down the hall into not a medical room, to a room with a table and chair and a box of Kleenex. And he says, I'm sorry to have to tell you this. You have cancer and it's metastasized. And I said, okay, so what are we going to do about it? Mm-hmm. And he pushes the Kleenex over to me and I push it back because I'm not crying. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to cry. Mm-hmm. I want to know what we're going to do about it. And he says to me, well, after I got your test back, I called around and the one doctor who's really good in the cancer that you have, he doesn't take your insurance. And I said, okay, so what are we going to do about it? And he goes down this list. Well, I talked to these other 2, they don't take your insurance. And I said, okay, stop there. I said, you're having an insurance conversation. I'm having a Save Barry's Life conversation. Right. They are not even parallel, okay? They're not touching anywhere. Mm-hmm. I said, so since you insist upon having a insurance conversation, what I'm going to tell you to do is to give me my records, my, MRI or whatever, CAT scan, my pathology report, and I bring me in the paper to release you for any more responsibility for me. And I did, and he did, and he couldn't believe it. So if at any point I was going to feel fear about the cancer journey I was now on, that would have been the moment, but I didn't.
Right.
I didn't. So months later, after the treatments, when I'm in the emergency room at 3 o'clock in the morning, feeling malaise, feeling something's wrong, and I'm going through that, and then I felt fear. So I knew something was wrong. Because I know this body better than anybody. Mm-hmm.